So part 2 of episode 1. We had a little technical difficulty with our first live here, so we will ask for a little extra grace in these days of technological challenges. And let me see if that does it better. Yeah. So in any case, so there I am. Continuation from part 1. I'm sitting at the border trying to get into Guatemala with my 3 dogs during the pandemic. So I've looked at all the websites, that's up to the minute stats on, what COVID restrictions are for people, for cars, for dogs. They're shutting down borders. So with all that in mind, I see everything that says, hey, as a U.S. citizen, you going into Mexico, you'll be all good with you and your dogs, and nothing else is needed. But as I get to the border, after I've been shaken down a little bit from the entry into Colombia or into Guatemala, I'm told, oh yeah, that only applies for U.S. citizens going into Mexico from the U.S.-Mexico border. It has nothing to do with the those rules don't apply to anything that you have here. So here I'm at, strike 1 where I'm completely out. So then number 2 was the fact that my dog's paperwork said my dog's paperwork ended up saying that it was for a date that hasn't happened yet, December 1st, which was actually meant to be January 12th, but because of dates being mixed up and turned around. So I'm sitting there at the border, and this is all happening in Spanish too, not my native language. So I'm talking to these folks, these very kind folks from customs and everything like that. However, I'm there in a moment where they're saying, look, we're going to have to send you back to Guatemala because you were not qualified to bring these dogs nor this rental car into the country. So I am sitting there 2 or 3 times later, and I finally used my breathing. I calmed myself down. I collected myself, and this is the point for you again. Those times where you just need to gather yourself, whether you've had some setbacks, temporary, or just had a tough week. I invite you to breathe and really lean into the law of attraction of what are you trying to attract into this moment. So they've gone back 2 or 3 times trying to problem solve with me, mind you, no less. But nonetheless, they had nothing that they could do because look, they could lose their jobs if they're letting somebody in the country without the proper paperwork, and it was just me sitting there. I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm like, I have all the reservations. I have a plane I need to catch, and I'm just at a loss. I'm like, okay, lean into the breathing. What have you been doing as you've been training to be, life mastery consultant, life coach, all that stuff, Ryan? So breathe in through the nose, take a pause, and say, what would you love to have happen here? So I look. I'm like, I don't know how this is going to happen, and I don't know what's going to happen here, but I somehow believe she's going to come back. This senior customs agent is going to come back. She's say, you are free to go. Sorry for the delay, but yeah, we are free to go. They would have loved to have collected my paperwork. At the beginning, I was a little bit skeptical about, giving them my pet paperwork because I thought I was going to need it for other countries. So I was already feeling like scarcity, limitation, fear, fight or flight or freeze. And it ultimately came down okay, I'm pausing. I'm doing this. This is happening. It's all good. It's working out for a reason. And so this is maybe why I'm here to share this story with you. So she comes back and she says, look, I've talked to my central government, and they said, look, we can't accept the paperwork. You've done very good. We could understand the typo. We don't want to send you back. So that's grateful. We're happy to have you into our country. And what we're going to do, unexpectedly, you can take the car, you can take the dogs, and we are just not taking any documentation on the dogs. So effectively, there was no record of them coming back into Mexico. And thus, that is how yours truly, Ryan Harris, became International Dog Smuggler Extraordinaire. And again, I was not expecting that to be the outcome. I did everything right, is what I thought, except for perhaps mixing up on the dates and the different languages. And again, I invite you to see how in your own life, how you can lean into this, and whether it's you're trying to grow more abundance for you, or what are the ways that you can see what's possible, or just see, there's so many different ways the things that you would love could happen, and I invite you to lean into those, and then share some maybe some stories about how you became internationally notorious on the thread. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day. We'll see you next week on Would You Believe Me If I Told You, Wednesdays, 1, 2, 3, 4 p.m. Pacific time, every Wednesday. So take care for now.